welcome. My name is Shauna Shapiro. I'm a professor at Santa Clara University, and this is my favorite conference to attend of any conference that I ever attend. I've been coming since the first year, speaking every year. And what I've become really passionate about and really, I think, committed to is bringing the spiritual, bringing consciousness and awareness into our everyday lives. And so the title of this talk today is Meditation and Intimacy. And I really want to explore this with you and really begin a conversation. And I want to honor and acknowledge that this really is a conversation and that there's probably nothing that I'm going to say that you don't already know at some level. And I just want to invite all of us in together. So this is Suzuki Roshi, and he says, "Enlightenment is intimacy with all things." I love this. Enlightenment is intimacy with all things. Lauren Roche says, meditation is, above all, intimacy with oneself. So I think the first question is, what does intimacy feel like? And I just want to invite each of us to close our eyes and just take a moment to really arrive here in this room. Arrive into your feet, into your toes, into your legs, your seat. And if you need to move your body a little bit just to help it come into a sense of center, that's fine. Feel your spine. That's good. I heard someone breathe. Breath is helpful. Just arriving here, arriving our consciousness here in our body and becoming intimate with our own experience. Feel your shoulders relax. Feel both arms. Feel your hands. And if at any point you get pulled away from your body and from this moment, just return. We're just arriving. Feel your belly. Feel your chest and your heart. Your throat. Your face. Soften your jaw. Soften your eyes. And just get a sense of your whole body sitting here in this moment, in this room. And as you're ready, taking a deeper breath in and out, letting some light come back in through the eyes. And see if you can stay connected to this body, to this breath, to this present moment as we continue, so that there's a seamless continuity of presence and intimacy. Good. So, from my perspective, from my lens, mindfulness, presence is key to intimacy. The word mindfulness actually means to see clearly. And for me, part of intimacy is actually seeing, feeling, connecting with what's happening. So I want to talk a little bit about mindfulness because we're going to use it as our foundation into intimacy. In order to see clearly, we have to pay attention. And I think this is the biggest hindrance to intimacy. What blocks our intimacy is that it's so hard for us to sustain attention. So I've been talking now for maybe 5 minutes. How many people have noticed that your mind has wandered off? Come on, in fact, don't even raise your hand. Everyone. I'll bring you into my laboratory and check you if it hasn't. Okay? So mindfulness is about learning how to pay attention and actually be here where you are. Because your bodies are sitting right here in this room, and yet your mind's all over the place, leaving this empty shell. If we're truly going to discover intimacy, we have to pay attention. Why we pay attention is also important. This is our intention. This is actually knowing why we're directing our attention in a certain way. And then how you pay attention. This is our attitude, paying attention with curiosity, openness, kindness. So all three of these elements are equally important in mindfulness: intention, attention, and attitude. And I think they create the foundation for intimacy. So I want to talk about each of them. The first, intention. This is simply knowing why we're paying attention. Why are we practicing a meditation? Why are we focusing here? Intention has a lot to do with our personal vision, our goal, our aspiration, and it has to do really with setting the compass of your heart. So you might even feel right now in your body, in fact, close your eyes. It's so hard to do this with eyes open for me. Feel in your body, why are you here? What's your intention? And maybe not just here at this talk, but here at this conference, what's most important to you? And then you can let your eyes open. Our intention reminds us of what is possible. It reminds us moment to moment of what we truly desire. So the second element is attention. And again, this is just learning how to gather our attention in this moment. So our mind is referred to as a monkey mind, because it swings from thought to thought, like a monkey swings from limb to limb, maybe worse. Well, our mind actually wanders about 50% of the time, 46.9% of the time. So if you live to be 100 years old, that's about 50 years that you've been spaced out of your life. That's a lot. That's not even counting sleeping. I haven't calculated that one. It's a lot. So part of this practice of mindfulness is bringing our attention back here in the present moment, where we are. Learning how to return to this body. We have between 12 and 50,000 thoughts a day, and so we're pulled constantly in many directions, and it takes some skill, some intention to come back. The last element of mindfulness is our attitude, and this is simply how we pay attention, bringing a kind, curious, open attitude. So a lot of times when we start to pay attention, we tend to judge. I like this, I don't like this, this is interesting, this is crazy. And what we do is we move towards what we like and away from what we don't like. And what happens is we don't end up actually experiencing the present moment because we see it through a filter. And so part of this practice is learning how to suspend judgment and just see things clearly in this moment. So the qualities of mindfulness have to do with curiosity. Right now, being interested, what does it feel like to be alive? To be open, to be kind. When we're judging, things become a little bit scary and we don't want to see parts of ourselves. When we're holding things with compassion, then we're actually able to invite all of ourselves in. Okay, so those are the three elements of mindfulness, and this is actually the Japanese kanji of mindfulness. And it's composed of two characters. The top one that looks like a little hat, that means presence. And the bottom character, shin, means heart or mind. They're interchangeable in Asian languages. So mindfulness could be translated as heartfulness. Okay? So I want you to have that sense of heartfulness as we pay attention. And what I'd like you to do, isn't it amazing how easily the mind is distracted and attention wanders? It's so incredible. You can feel it in the room, just watching it happen. So what I'd like us to do is bring our attention right here. And, we're not going to do this quite yet. Sorry. Actually, I would like to do it right now. So what I'd like us to do is just practice a bit of this heartfulness or mindfulness, just to kind of, again, arrive our attention a little more fully. And what I'd like you to do is practice intentionally, paying attention in a kind, curious, interested way to your lived experience, whatever's happening if the door opens, if it closes, if someone gets up, if they sit down, if the baby cries. We're just noticing, what does that feel like? What does it feel like to be alive right here? So allowing the eyes to close. And again, just arriving into the body. Opening to the sounds around us and your relationship to them. See if you can rest your attention a little bit more deeply into the back body, so that if you notice you're tending to lean forward, even with your attention, see if you can rest it back and down. We tend to move forward in life, thinking about the future. So see if you can just rest back and down. Feel your feet on the floor. Soften the shoulders, soften the jaw. And then becoming curious about what you're noticing right now. What does the body feel like? What sensations are here? Feeling the breath. And noticing moments of intimacy with your own experience. See if you can relax the body 5% more. Relaxing any holding, any tightness. And see if you can become a little more curious. Maybe just curious about this one breath, this one inhale, or this exhale. Welcoming all of our experience. Intimacy doesn't necessarily mean pleasant or happy or joyful. Intimacy is about being with whatever is here. And again, as you're ready, taking a deeper breath in and out. Letting the eyes open, and just go ahead and stretch your arms up above your head. Moving the body in any way that feels good. Good. Okay. So here's what's interesting, is this mindfulness and meditation practice helps us connect with intimacy, and yet it can also be used to distance ourselves, to become detached from our experience. So a lot of times, one of the kind of pitfalls or perils of meditation practice is that people use it to become distanced, to become the witness and the observer, instead of going deep into the experience. So we start to shift our perspective from a subjective, intimate experience to an objective, instead of my pain, it becomes the pain or the sadness. And there's a place for that, but sometimes we lose connection with intimacy. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Have you seen? Yeah, lots of head nods. And what I found in my own meditation practice is, for many years I used it as a way to kind of escape the pain, because it was like, oh, that's not my real self. Or it's just sadness, it's just movement in the body. And at some level that's really important, because it allows me a little bit of distance. But at another level, you're missing the aliveness of life. We become really disembodied when we're like that. This is from James Joyce. He said, Mr. Duffy lived a short distance from his body. Right? But we all know what we're talking about. We kind of live from the neck up. and we're missing the intimacy and the felt experience of our bodies. And that's where wisdom lies. That's where love exists. And so part of mindfulness is learning how to return to the body and to return into our lived experience, whatever it is. So I'd like you to do an exercise. I'd like you to take your right hand, and I'd like you to bring your full attention to the right hand and just look at the lines on it, look at the coloring. You can look at the front and the back of the hand, the size and the shape. Practice non-judgmental awareness. Notice if there's any hairs on the hand. Look at your nails. Again, non-judgmentally. And now close your eyes and feel your right hand from the inside. Maybe feel the pulsing, movement, vibration, energy, aliveness. Pouring your attention into the right hand. Good. You can let your eyes open. Put your hand down. So what did you notice? What was the difference between attending from the outside versus attending from within? It got bigger. Okay, good. What else? You couldn't feel all your sensations. Okay, interesting. What else? Yeah.
When I was looking at it, I was just looking at the external characteristics. When I had my eyes closed and was feeling it from the inside.
Beautiful, exactly. So there's a way in which we can take our attention and kind of observe what's happening, and that actually is an important skill, right? But we also need to know how to come from the inside and to actually feel our lived experience. Yeah, great. So mindfulness can help us cultivate this intrapersonal intimacy, this intimacy with our own bodies, our own minds, our own hearts. And it can help us cultivate interpersonal intimacy. So we use our own bodies, our own lived experience, our own feelings to attune with others. And here's what's interesting. So I train clinicians, I train therapists. And typically when you teach therapists, you say, pay attention to the other person, really listen to them, give them your full attention. When I teach, I say, put 90% of your attention in your own body, not your patient's body, your own body, and then use your body as a way to resonate with what they're feeling. Because we actually don't know exactly what someone else is feeling, but if we're attuned to our own experience and we're intimate with our own experience, I can sense you. Emotional contagion is so much faster than cognitive understanding. And so if we want to be intimate with someone else, what we need to do is attune first to ourselves and then connect with the resonance between each other. So what's interesting is when you look at the impact of mindfulness in the brain, a lot of what I study is neuroscience, and it's kind of fun not to be talking about that right now, but I want to give you this one piece, which is mindfulness actually strengthens and grows. It's called cortical thickening. It grows the part of the brain called the insula, and this has to do with the capacity to experience our physical body sensations. And it has to do with empathy, the capacity to perceive these in others. So as we're sitting and practicing mindfulness, we're growing the part of our brain that has the capacity to attune to another human being. So mindfulness deepens our intrapersonal intimacy and thus becomes an exquisite gateway for interpersonal intimacy. So I want to just show you a couple of images before we do a final exercise, and see if you can connect with the body. Just use this as a mindfulness practice. You're strengthening your insula right now as you practice. And just feel the images. So soft. So part of this practice is learning how to see each other and feel each other and connect with each other. And not just the people we know, the people we don't know. This is Albert Einstein. Our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty. So as we become more mindful, we begin to see our interrelatedness, our interconnectedness, and this intimacy that's begun in my own body begins to expand. So I'd like to do an exercise that is an adaptation from the Brahma Vihara practice, which are the 4 heavenly abodes. And it's an exercise that you do in pairs. You can do it with someone you know or don't know. The intention is really to cultivate this awareness and this intimacy. So I'll give you a moment to pair up with someone. It's going to be done in silence. And so if you could just sit next to the person, and you want to be able to see them, you want to be able to look at their face. I'm going to invite you guys to stay in silence right now. So if you can, staying in silence, and just take a moment to close your eyes and reconnect with your body, your home. I want you to keep resting 90% of your attention in your own body. If anyone does not have a partner, please raise your hand so I can see you. Wonderful. Everyone's partnered. Okay. So closing your eyes and just allowing your awareness to rest into the body. I'm going to invite everyone to stay into silence. So closing the eyes, allowing your awareness to rest in your body. And just like we did before, just like the mindfulness practice, feel your feet. Rest your awareness down and back. Soften your shoulders. Soften the face, soften the jaw, and find one part of your body that's home, that's going to help anchor you if you wander off. I like to use my feet. You can find any part of the body to just stay connected with. And then as you're ready, take a deeper breath in and out. And with eyes still closed, I'm going to invite you to expand your awareness so that you're now including the person seated next to you. And see if you can just feel their presence. Staying connected with your own body. Don't leave yourself. Don't leave your home. And we're going to practice mindfulness here. So remember, being curious, being open, being interested in your experience, whatever it is, welcome it. So as you're ready, allowing your eyes to open. And for a moment, just looking at this person before you with a soft gaze. This isn't a deep, beloved, I'm going to fall in love with you gaze. It's just a soft, gentle, seeing this other person and recognizing that you're more similar than different. And so we'll begin by see if you can imagine this person in front of you as a young child. Imagine them playing and happy and free. Imagine maybe the first time they rode a bike and the joy in their face. Imagine as they grew older, the first time they fell in love. And just feeling this sense of appreciation and desire for their happiness. Silently wishing them well. Staying connected to your own body. And then let your eyes close. Notice how you feel. And then take a moment to recognize that they were seeing all of this in you and wishing you well. So receiving that, taking that in. Anchoring yourself again in your own body. 90% of your awareness resting here. And then letting your eyes open. Gazing at this person before you. And recognizing that just like you, they've experienced loss and disappointment, loneliness and confusion. Recognizing that just like you, they've suffered in this life. And feeling the heart of compassion. And sending them your compassion. I wish you well. May your suffering ease. May you be happy and free. And then letting your eyes close. And just knowing that this person was offering this to you as well. And receiving their kindness, their compassion. And once again, connecting with your own body, your own breath. Feeling the aliveness in your body. The connection, the embodiment. This is intimacy. So as you're ready, taking a deeper breath in and out, allowing your eyes to open, and in silence, in whatever way you'd like to, thank your partner in silence and coming back to the larger group. It's okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. What did you notice? What happened?
I guess even though you don't know somebody per se, you feel very connected to them, thinking that they've experienced what you've experienced, and trying to feel what it is that knowing that you know what they feel.
Yeah, so even though we might not have known this person's sitting before us, you can feel that connection. And that exercise was 4 minutes, 3 minutes, right? Usually we're going so fast and we're not really fully being with another. True intimacy is this being with. And that's really what meditation practice is about. I want to end with this quote. I realize we're out of time. This is one of my favorite quotes by Lauren Roche. She says, "Meditation is a love affair with life that prepares you for relationship in all its forms. It is about the courage to live with a wide open heart, to love again despite your disappointments and loss, to expand your capacity to be intimate not only with others but with the world. It is about feeling the movement of soul within all of your activities and embracing life with more passion and more joy." So I'd like you to close your eyes for a moment and just reflect on if there's one nugget, one kind of golden nugget that you want to take with you from this brief time we've had together. One intention of what you want to carry with you back into your lived experience. Anchoring it in your body. And then just take a moment to really thank yourself for your presence, for showing up here this afternoon, for your vulnerability to see and be seen. And as you're ready, taking a deeper breath in and out. Perfect timing. Allowing your eyes to open, stretching the arms up above the head. We've got a little dance music to end with. So I just want to thank you all for your kind attention. Thank you.